This slide wraps up Agile contracting and governance. The key idea is that Agile governance is not about strict control, but about enabling collaboration and adaptability. Agile contracts balance structure with flexibility, build trust between client and vendor, and focus on delivering real business value, not just completing paperwork. Governance in Agile means alignment, transparency, and continuous learning, not rigid rule enforcement. In Agile, risk is managed continuously, not just at the start. A risk burndown chart helps track how many risks are still open versus mitigated across sprints. Risk-based personas help teams think like attackers or problem users to identify hidden risks early. Risk story mapping overlays risks on your user stories to highlight high-risk features like login or payments. A sprint risk matrix visually maps stories versus risks based on impact and probability. FMEA in Agile helps identify potential failures, their impact, and prioritize mitigation early. Key message: Agile risk management is visual, iterative, and embedded into sprint planning and execution. Agile risk culture in teams. Agile teams treat risk as learning, not blame. Encourage open discussion of risks in retrospectives and daily conversations. Small failures are accepted early to prevent big failures later. Focus on continuous improvement using lessons from past risks. Quotes explanation: if it's risky, slice it smaller. Break risky items into smaller, manageable stories. Risk is just another story with a bigger impact. Treat risks like backlog items and manage them proactively. Key message: in Agile, risk management is embedded in team culture and daily work, not treated as a separate activity. Here are short speaker notes for this slide. Agile risk management. Conclusion: Agile risk management focuses on early visibility and quick action, not heavy documentation. Use spike stories, buffers, and risk-adjusted backlogs to proactively handle uncertainty. This helps teams stay flexible while reducing surprises and late issues. For PMICP professionals, showing strong risk awareness builds stakeholder trust and improves exam success chances. This slide explains how Agile teams use continuous monitoring and quick feedback loops to stay adaptive and improve regularly. Task boards, physical or digital like Jira, Trello, help visualize work progress using simple columns like To Do, In Progress, Review, and Done. VIP limits avoid overloading the team and improve flow. Overall, these tools increase visibility, transparency, and accountability, helping teams identify issues early and take quick corrective action. Advanced boards help teams visualize work better by using swim lanes for priority or features and color-coding blockers and dependencies. VIP limits control multitasking by restricting how many items can be in progress, helping teams focus, reduce delays, and improve flow efficiency. This slide explains burndown and burnup charts used in Agile to track work progress and velocity. Burndown shows how much work is remaining over time, while burnup shows how much work is completed and also shows scope changes clearly. A steep burndown means fast progress, a flat line means no progress, and being above the ideal line means the team is behind. Burnup is especially useful when scope keeps changing, as it clearly shows both progress and scope growth. This slide highlights best practices for using burndown and burnup charts effectively in Agile. Update charts daily so the team has real-time visibility of progress. Use them regularly during stand-ups and retrospectives to spot delays, trends, and blockers. Combine chart insights with velocity trends to improve forecasting accuracy. Common tools include Jira Sprint Reports, Excel templates, and Google Data Studio with Jira plugins for live dashboards. This slide highlights best practices for using burndown and burnup charts effectively in Agile. Update charts daily so the team has real-time visibility of progress. Use them regularly during stand-ups and retrospectives to spot delays, trends, and blockers. Combine chart insights with velocity trends to improve forecasting accuracy. Common tools include Jira Sprint reports, Excel templates, and Google Data Studio with Jira plugins for live dashboards. This case shows how Agile monitoring helps identify and fix flow problems. The team noticed too many items stuck in progress because they started work but didn't finish and lacked test automation. By applying a VIP limit of 3, adding QA support, and introducing automation for the login module, the bottleneck reduced within 2 sprints. As a result, delivery stabilized, production releases resumed smoothly, and team morale improved. This highlights how simple process controls and feedback loops can significantly improve Agile performance. This slide explains how feedback loops keep Agile teams aligned and adaptive. Daily stand-ups help surface blockers and reset priorities. Sprint reviews bring real customer input on what's delivered. Retrospectives focus on team improvement and removing recurring issues. Demo feedback validates assumptions early before investing too much. The key message: fast, continuous feedback is more powerful than long-term predictions in Agile. Agile monitoring tools help teams see workflow clearly and spot problems early. Feedback loops enable quick issue resolution and continuous performance improvement. For PMIACP professionals, mastering these tools ensures better transparency, adaptability, and delivery quality. Key takeaway: strong monitoring plus fast feedback equals high-performing Agile teams. In Agile, retrospectives help teams reflect and improve after every iteration. We use root cause tools like the 5 whys and fishbone diagram to move beyond symptoms and find real problems. The example shows how a long sprint planning meeting wasn't the real issue. The root cause was unclear role boundaries. The takeaway: identify causes, not just problems, so improvement actions are effective and long-term. This slide shows how we use Fishbone Ishikawa diagram for root cause analysis in Agile retrospectives. Problem example: velocity dropped over 3 sprints. We analyze causes under main categories: people, process, tools, environment. Example causes: new team member onboarding, unclear DOD, CI/CD failures, too many meetings. Root cause found: PO is overloaded with multiple responsibilities. Action taken: delegate support tasks or create a dedicated support role. Goal: identify real causes, not just symptoms, and drive sustainable improvement. Key message: Fishbone helps teams move from blame to system-level problem solving. In Agile, retrospectives work best when the whole team collaborates. Here, the Fishbone other problem-solving diagram is drawn together during the retrospective to openly brainstorm issues, involve everyone's ideas, and identify real root causes. This builds shared understanding, ownership, and leads to practical improvement actions for the next sprint. This slide explains a popular retrospective format called for AILS: loved, learned, lacked, longed for. In this format, the team shares what they enjoyed, what they learned, what was missing, and what they wish for next time. It encourages both emotional and practical feedback and helps teams open up. It is especially useful for end-of-quarter or end-of-release retrospectives to capture deeper insights and improvement ideas. This slide explains the popular Agile retrospective formats. The Start-Stop-Continue format helps teams decide what new actions to start, what ineffective habits to stop, and what good practices to continue. It is simple, action-focused, and useful during mid-project reviews to realign the team. The Sailboat format uses visual storytelling to discuss team drivers, wind, blockers, anchors, risks, rocks, and goals island. It makes retrospectives more engaging and helps teams understand emotions and risks in an interactive way. This slide highlights how effective retrospectives improve team performance. By applying structured feedback, the next sprints ran faster, commitment accuracy improved, and team morale increased. It also covers best practices like rotating facilitators, time-boxing sessions, and using anonymous tools. Finally, it warns about common mistakes such as turning retros into complaint sessions or not tracking action items. This slide highlights how Agile teams build continuous learning through regular feedback. Teams don't just rely on theory. They improve by learning from daily stand-ups, DMOS, and retrospectives. Real learning happens through pairing customer feedback and identifying skill gaps like automation needs. Organizations support this using internal knowledge platforms, COPS, and peer learning practices. This slide highlights that retrospectives and feedback loops are not only for fixing current issues, but for building a long-term learning culture. Agile teams that regularly reflect and take action continuously improve their performance. For PMIACP professionals, driving these improvement cycles is key to creating sustainable agility and delivering consistent excellence over time.